afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another session of our MSME Masterclass. Today's discussion focuses on a challenge that quietly drives some of the most expensive setbacks in construction projects, which is design errors. While delays, rework, cost overruns, and execution bottlenecks often become visible during construction, their root causes frequently originate much earlier in the project life cycle. Decisions made during planning and design can significantly influence project costs, timelines, buildability, operational efficiency, and long-term asset performance. To help us explore this topic, we are delighted to welcome architect Sudheendra G K, partner and principal architect at place called Tomorrow PC2 Architects. With more than 19 years of experience in architecture, urban design, and project planning, architect Sudheendra has led the design and execution of a diverse range of residential, commercial, and mixed-use developments. Throughout his career, he has focused on helping clients achieve better project outcomes through thoughtful planning, efficient space utilization, and design-led problem solving. His expertise spans urban infill developments, project feasibility studies, and the practical translation of design intent into successful project execution. By bridging the gap between design vision and on-ground realities, he has helped organizations reduce rework, improve construction efficiency, and maximize the long-term value of their developments. What makes his perspective particularly valuable is his understanding of how early-stage design decisions influence every stage of project delivery, from constructability and procurement planning to execution efficiency and lifecycle performance. He brings practical insights into the decisions that determine whether projects run smoothly or encounter costly challenges later. In today's session, he will share his perspectives on how MSMEs can identify design risks early, improve coordination between stakeholders, avoid costly mistakes during execution, and create projects that are both efficient to build and effective to operate. Please join me in welcoming Sir. Thank you so much for joining us today, Sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure to have been here.
So we will quickly begin with the first question for you, which we have for today's session is, why do design errors continue to be one of the leading causes of project delays, rework, and cost overruns in construction projects today?
Amrita, see, in my experience, design errors are not really caused by lack of talent. They happen because projects are becoming increasingly complex. There are too many people involved, starting from the architect. There are consultants for structural design, MEP, and landscape, sustainability, and so on and so forth. And all of them have to work together. The moment one of these works in isolation, then whole project team coordination goes for a toss. I often say, any question that is unresolved on paper for surely becomes a big challenge for us on this site. So this is one of the biggest reasons for why design errors are being there from the consultant side. From the client side or the user or the investor side also, the right kind of briefing and right understanding of what is that I require. That clarity, lack of that clarity also causes for the delays. They'll not be able to convey the right thing to the right consultants. So these are the two major reasons I foresee the reason for design errors or errors that pass on in the construction and then the user.
Understood. And sir, according to you, tell us what are the most common design mistakes that repeatedly affect construction and infrastructure projects across India?
See, the biggest concern or the biggest challenge is that poor understanding from the consultant side of the site, service requirements, inefficient circulation. These are all one part. The other important part is also, to go ahead with the trend, make things look very trendy, rather than looking or focusing on how it works. They many consultants fall for the trap of how to make it look nice. See, the moment I make something looking nice and my focus is completely onto that, I'll only be ending up making something which is only looking nice. What about its workability? For me, my belief is that, the moment, the way it looks, the way that it works. So they have to be integral part. It's like a human body, someone which is who is very dark textured, deep colored. Also, if he is healthy man, looks nice. The same way, one of the best looking person, if he's having a stomach ache, he'll definitely looks pale. See, for me, this becomes one of the biggest challenge. Just because we want to do it that way, we want to make it look that way, doesn't make it necessary to have it. The briefing also from the investor side, no, also takes a turn. If they are having no clarity on how they want things happen, they don't have to get into conveying how they want these things to be done. They only have to be very clear that what they want. So it's a partnership. So I make 50%, you make 50%, and then we join together and participatively make the project happen.
Understood. So tell our attendees, how can they identify, potential design flaws before construction activities begin on site?
See, there are three parts to this. One is reviewing the requirements from the user side. What I require, is it right? A decision that has to be made within his team. For an example, an MSME working or making or wanting to make a building, new infrastructure, new space for themselves, have to first review of what exactly they want and are they fine with that, and are all the departments in the same page as the key decision maker. Number one. Number two, how we are going to build this, what is the way that we are looking at it, what the constructability review, and are there any phases that we are looking, or we want to do it in one phase, and what is the fund flow. So am I going to do it in one shot, or should I have to break it down? And only then they have to get into the consultants meeting. Only then the consultant will be able to further support and analyze this. See, I usually tell my clients that that discovering a mistake during a meeting is a blessing. If I know that there is something is not working, and we all come to understanding that yes, this is the mistake, then we have solved it halfway through. I always believe that when I am there on the site, I am there when the project is still going on. Let the mistakes happen, and we will first review in such a way on the design stage itself that there are no challenges, there are no mistakes that are happening, at least knowingly. In case anything just creeps in, we will arrest it because we are there. The doctor is still near the patient. He can do many things. Once I leave from there, I am unable to do anything. So I want things to work the way they are, and I would have already previously know that how they fail. And this is where I come in a picture, and when the consultants come to me, this is the way that we have been wanting the mistakes knowingly not to creep in. So three parts. Yeah.
Got it. And why do small design omissions, often escalate into major execution challenges during project delivery?
See, construction is like, it's like a coordination. It's like a chain. And every link in the construction, this one matters. A small drain detail, a forgotten service shaft, where my plumbing line has to go, where the HVAC drain has to go, will create a bigger problem. And this omission can happen from any consultant side. So there are basically two participants in this project team. One is the investor, two is the consultants or the team of consultants led by the architect. The user comes in later. If the user himself is investor, then also. So what happens? But once the construction begins, there are thousands of decisions that every consultant has to make, and it is very convenient for any human being to omit. And the moment we do that, the cost and the time required for this execution gets multiplied. So coordination is the key. And building is like, sailing a ship where thousands of people are there, and there are hundreds who are staffed to sail them. And the head of the ship is an architect. And the architect has to become the hub. And for all the reasons, this hub becomes exchange point between the consultants and the client side or the investor side. If this hub is not getting the information and then processing the information and passing on, the small omission will lead to a bigger problem. So architect is the hub, he is the main key person, and he has to work like that hub, and most responsible person is him.
Noted. Moving on, sir, tell us, how does inadequate coordination, between architects, structural consultants, MEP consultants, and contractors contribute to design-related failures?
Yeah, parallel to the example that I previously just now quoted about the sailing a ship, my teacher always used to tell me that architecture design, especially on the consultant side, is like arranging an orchestra. Everybody, the strings, the music, the voice, all of them are playing correctly. What if there is no sync? So the moment you get the sync, the music happens then. Otherwise, it's just noise. So in our this one in the industry, the coordination is the key. Most failure happens because of the interfaces. The architect may be right, the structure may be right, the MEP consultant, everybody is right in their ways. But then if it is not synced, the problem happens. So this syncing becomes very important. Again, the architect becomes the hub, and everybody on the team has to accept and respect that notion of architect not being the king, not being the great person, he being only the leader there. The same thing happens with the construction also. If a wall A on this side, wall B on this side, we as consultants sitting in the office convey that wall A has all the plumbing sanitary lines, wall B has all the electrical and lighting lines. And they work in isolation because for them it is like that. Only the site supervisor will know that both the things are there. The moment there is a mix-up, things go for a toss. So coordination is the key, and again architect becomes the hub for the coordinations also.
Right. Tell us, what role should constructability reviews play in preventing costly design errors before the project execution?
Constructability is where the design thoughts of the architect meets the reality, and every drawing before it gets into finishing, someone as an architect or other one need to ask, can the local labor build this? Is this suited for this team? Is this construction agency or the construction team okay with doing this? Are we practically correct, or can this detail be executed? So all these questions are also topped up with the maintainability aspect. Doing once is a challenge, we'll do it, but then what after 4 years, what after 6 months of occupation, can this be maintained? So these questions have to be asked early. Many costs like disappear. So if these questions are asked, then we'll have a lot of challenges.
Right. Now, sir, how can MSMEs, ensure that the project designs remain practical, buildable and aligned with on-ground execution realities?
Contractors, vendors, project management people often bring in a lot of valuable practical insights because they are working with their hands on or hands into the material management aspect. So we need, as our consultants, we need to respect that, and we need to also get that into account and then bind them with our team of consultants and offer as a right package to the MSME. So the moment there is a challenge in the practical side, it may probably crop up temporarily now, and you may hush it up. The user, the investor or the MSME infrastructure user, he will feel the burn, and directly it will have an impact on my next referrals. This MSME, if he is happy, he will tell 2. If he is unhappy, he will tell 20. So I need to be making very sure that I add this value with the practically doable teams, practically already teams who are done that, and then attach these things together and provide the right package to MSME.
Got it. And tell us, what are the hidden costs, that you may have seen of design changes made after construction has already commenced?
See, these changes happen because there are many ways that these things come in. Number one, there is no clarity of thought on day one when we are doing. There may changes genuinely happening later. We accept it. But when we design things, we reason out on day one and then arrest this, if possible, on the drawing board. Like I said previously, every question that I not answer on the paper will cost me bigger in terms of time and money for me or my client on the site. So any revisions, any changes definitely cost time. For me, it is a project. For me and my team, it is a project. We do it every day. It's like, हमने दुकान खोल के बैठा है, गिराक आएंगे, तो व्यापार करेंगे, नहीं तो बैठ के वेट करेंगे. For them, it is not that. It is a time investment, money investment, and probably their time from their regular task. A MSME who is into the industrial production takes out his team members' time and temporarily deputes them to be working with us. So we are also consuming their actual infrastructure or the actual working time in their industry. So these costs are not direct. Cost in terms of the constructability or the spent money, spent time on the construction on site, together with, if I am the say managing director of ABC company, large company MSME, so I also have to take my time out. I rather would have putting my time there, and with me is my 2 or 3 engineers. We are currently working with a brand very close to Mysuru industrial area, where they have the same concern. There are this team of civil engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, and there are 2 per department they have deputed with us. Each day the contractor wants to work, the MD or the CMD sitting elsewhere send in some change, and we need to halt the program or halt the condition, halt the execution for the time being. And all of this team sits in the site office. They are neither doing their work in their industry, their industrial production, not able to do anything here. So it's like cutting both the sides. So this kind of revisions have to be avoided, and we have a different perspective on different way of solving this problem, which I think we will. I will let you know once we are done. Yeah.
Understood. So tell us about digital tools now. How do you think can digital tools such as BIM and 3D modeling help reduce design conflicts and improve project outcomes?
See, we are too far away from BIM in Indian continent, Indian subcontinent, or Indian market for that. BIM is a very good tool, and I have a very I revere it. I love it, and there is a common platform where imagine we are all preparing a biryani today. Somebody is doing rice, somebody is doing dal, somebody is putting chicken, somebody is putting the masala, and everybody is an expert in each of them, and everybody pours into the same kadai, and then the main cook or the chef prepares biryani. Look at how wonderful it would be. That is what BIM is in simple language. Many people ask me that BIM is this, BIM is that. People are unnecessarily over complexifying this thing. BIM is this very, very simple, like what I've understood, and it is the future. But in Indian context, Indian market context, we are too away from that. There are very basic reasons for this. A simple Autodesk AutoCAD costs us a perpetual license of 2D or even 3D 1.5 lakh plus. Right now, any of these softwares, be it 3D making softwares or 3D rendering softwares, 2D making softwares, all these things have now switched over from being perpetual to being subscription wise. So if I'm buying, say Lumion, 10.2 gets me at say 2.5 lakh or 4 lakh plus for a license, and a subscription waste. And every year I need to pay so much. Are we in Indian market able to earn so much? And every machine, so one person for me, one resource, one architect working with me means one machine which is a little higher on the graphic side cost me at least upward of 75,000. Then the cost of CAD, then this cost of basic SketchUp or a 3D software, then the rendering software. So look at where we are. Are we in Indian context making this kind of a profit to run such a large, expensive subscription-based studio? See, in this place itself, we are struggling a lot. I am a mid-sized architect, and I have, say, 15 people plus working with me and 15 plus working in different locations, 15 in studio. So roughly around 25-30 people working with me, and I need to maintain so much of infrastructure, machines and the softwares. And look at what I'm churning out, the kind of business, the kind of service or the business and the money revenues that we are doing. Major of it is being drained out for reinventing the same thing every year. So we have already, from Indian Institute of Architects, we have already sent a memorandum to the government requesting that this has to be changed. But through this platform, I also want to convey that we are stuck here. And there is only a prescribed fee that we have to limit ourselves. We can't cut our cost. We can't go below certain standards. The Council of Architecture also mandates certain requirement. BIM is still far away. Maybe my next generation probably would see the good turnout in terms of BIM or all these things corrected. So my concern, my challenge at this time is BIM is very good, but 3D softwares or 2D softwares now are very expensive. In fact, many of us are now switching over to digital pads, where we have, say, for example, Apple iPad comes with that Apple Pencil and softwares which can replace AutoCAD. With our Indian Institute of Architects, we have our own AutoCAD software. We are fine with that. Say I get one seat at around 32,000, which is perpetual, no problem. But BIM comes to me at least 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs plus. So that is where the challenge is, and that is what is not making BIM popular. In fact, it's a very good tool. Because of these kind of prohibitive costs, they cannot. See, any architect who is working, for example, say 5 lakh square feet area, huge commercial or residential project, has to get the benefit of what BIM can offer. But I am not. He cannot offer. Probably his 50% of the fees what he gets there drains out in subscribing for BIM, because these projects run for 2-3 years. So this is one big challenge why, even though BIM is very good, not becoming popular. Yeah.
Got it. So moving on, tell us, why do design assumptions sometimes fail when exposed to the actual site conditions, and how can the risk be reduced?
See, the biggest risk these days is our people who want to work with us. They are the biggest risk makers. You know why? Because they are not trained. They are not trained, and they are not also open to get trained. And this has led to a lot of concerns. There is also this concern where the site condition offer suddenly offers some new thing on site which the survey has missed, and existing conditions, neighborhood developments, access constraints, all these things make us come to a place where we feel that, okay, what I thought on the day one was wrong, and suddenly there is a change in the policies. Suddenly there is a change within the client's group formation. Suddenly the client wants to now go for a change. The user wants to now get into making, because he has now added something else into his production team, production agglomeration. He wants something else to come up. So there has to be a thorough understanding how design will answer. The design is a solution. Design has to answer, and the user has to have this requirement. And I need to take three things into time. What is the what I need to take three things on consideration. What is the user, and what is the place, and what are my thoughts, and how can I make this happen? So these assumptions will not change completely. 99% of the time they will not change completely. There may be slight modification, which we can take some time out, quickly realign, and then went back. See, design assumptions fail because of primarily not understanding the concerns correctly, and our team not pouring their thoughts and their work completely. And if they are not mature enough to handle, not able enough to handle, so then these assumptions will go for a toss. For example, you are going for a diagnostic check, and I am your good friend who runs a diagnostic lab, and I suddenly come to know that your blood sugar is too high, and I know that you will not like it. It's like hiding things. No, Amrita ji, your sugar is okay, manageable. Don't worry, but be careful about having this. So I don't tell you the fact, but actually you are doing the diagnostics test to get to know how bad your situation is, so that you can arrest. See, assumptions clearly fail when these things are not done correctly. It may be from any team. Yeah.
Got it. And tell us, how can contractors and project teams improve communication with design consultants to minimize the misunderstandings and execution gaps?
Yeah, this one thing nowadays, I've been working for almost nearly 2 decades now. When I was working with someone else, many people I have worked with, until now I do team up with many people. The big change I have seen is nowadays people print the drawings very less. small project, big project. So they now got into a habit of showing those things on phone. So even though large projects, they zoom it and show because of convenience. I can carry everything in my pocket. So one thing is that the contractor has to know the way that this consultant works. The consultant has to convey that. There's also a responsibility from the clients, from the consultant side. See, for me, I believe in making, dividing my day into two parts: making and managing. I do the making, that is sitting on the drawing boards, desk, and working in the first early hours of the morning till lunch break sometime. So till then, I don't encourage any meetings. I don't give time for any visits. The other part of this also is because if I go to a site at 11 o'clock in the morning when the contractor and his team is deploying his team for work, I go there and become a hindrance. I also come from a family of contractors and I understand this. And I spend my time of the other half of the day in managing things. I meet people alternate days. I go to sites alternate days, but that is between 4 to 5:30. So that is a time, even if I ask contractors team to, hold the noise making work for a moment, he's not at loss. So I imagine I do that at 11 o'clock. So I understand how I have to communicate. I expect also the contractors to understand how you need to communicate. And I will tell them, as an architect, I have to tell them, boss, this is the time that I would expect. Don't keep on calling me. I can't tell them this. I can tell them because this is the time I box myself. This time is boxed for my design focus work. I expect not to be disturbed, boss. I'll call you back. So that is one thing from the on the drawing side and things. Drawings are issued. Earlier the drawings were issued. Now we are doing that. We want to continue. Even if it is not there, we want to print them and send as a clear communication in black and white, in print, not just a verbal message. And there have to be regular coordination meetings. The contractor has to be a part of that, and his team has to be part of that, and he needs to focus on what his role is. Many a time it happens that, say, as an architect, my client has appointed me to look after his project, supervise and assist and support him. I need to talk about the contractor, I need to talk about the civil person, I need to talk about the MEP, I need to electrical. I have to poke my nose in everything. It is my business. But the contractor, the electrical contractor, so they have to focus on what they are, concerned about. Boss, you gave me this. This is not fine. This is not working, or this we see that there's a challenge. Please let us know how we can correct it, or you can guide us, or this is the idea that we have. Many architects are not open to this. Many consultants are not open to this, but we are. As a participative effort for us, knowledge sharing or information can come from any side, and I need to be open as an architect. That's a better way of communicating. And also our architects who work with us, they have to have this rigorous training, at least minimum 4 to 5 years of training with an experienced, exposed architecture firm. Then only they see in the school they are taught how to work, right, on technical work, how to make a drawing and other things. Nowadays, that also we are finding it very tough to work with the Gen Z, and I think it is going global. Very unreliable. This, that. I don't want to put it. They are unemployable. We can't expect them to be restricting, focusing, limiting, and producing. See, this hierarchy they don't accept. See, I can't challenge everything, right? So they want dignity. Yes, all this you have to earn. What we say our child, boss, we'll get your chocolate, but for that you need to earn. See, they are not in a mood. More than the Gen Zs, the parents of these Gen Zs are to be blamed, it seems. The survey says that, oh, aaja ghar mein baith, main deta hu. So the parents are of this attitude, then becomes a challenge, right? So these people the parents have to allow them to go through this training. The training is of two types. One is your attitude towards work and how trainable you are. And this training is not just on the technical work, it's about the transactional training. No, if a contractor comes with a big problem on site, how do you talk to him? We are not taught that in the schools of architecture, or very less information. All this information, all this knowledge you get only when you're working with an experienced architect, and we have learnt it that way. There is also a lacuna from our side that we are not allowing our new graduates to go through this training. So the contractors also work with all these engineers, but then the engineers have to be, you don't see a mechanical engineer mechanical engineer get out. The moment he is there, he is out of the school, he'll not go out and make a manufacturing industry. He will take his time, right? But you see architects now, they jump to practice. घर मिल गया तो कर लेंगे, हो गया. So it doesn't work like that. So you are blowing at what cost? You are blowing the whistle at what cost? And going forward, the whole fraternity will be at bigger risk. See, that's why we see architects voicing, become activists saying that no, civil engineers are, stealing our job or anything. Boss, if you are right, then why will they? So there is to be a clear communication, the way that we communicate, and what I say it does matter, but how I say what I say matters a lot. So this has to be open from both sides. This is what we have been working at, and today I work with many contractors. Many contractors have become my referral partners. They give me a lot of projects because I've been open. I listen to them, but I decide together with them. It's not that आपने बोला मैंने सोचा decide कर दिया, नहीं. You tell, I discuss with you, and we decide together. And this is a teamwork. The best of everyone has to pour in. So that's how it works for me.
Right. So what design-related risks do you see are most commonly overlooked, in industrial infrastructure and commercial construction projects?
Maintenance. आज लगा दिया, कल का कल देखेंगे यार. You pulled up say outdoor HVAC, air handling unit, outdoor machine, 5 ton, 8 ton, 20 ton, you anchor on the building. Today I have solved the big problem of how to put it. Everybody gives so many ideas. But then if tomorrow I go and clean that or remove this filter and put it once more, who is going to come? No, kal ka kal dekhenge. This has become a biggest problem, and this our architects have learned. A consultants team, think that solving that problem for now is big thing. आज का कर दिया, देख लेंगे, नहीं. This, so any project for that matter, we have to focus on A, maintenance, B, execution. If I'm able to maintain a building correctly, only then I should be able to do. I need to think like the user, who is going to maintain it. If I have to be the काम वाली बाई, and or if I be the housekeeper, if I am the coffee maker, if I am the facade glass cleaner. See, we are blessed after or together with the movie director. Only we are the people who are blessed to be everyone on the team. A director of a movie can be anyone, or he can be, in his imagination, he can be the jailer and the jail inmate both at the same time. He has to think like that. Only an architect after a movie director can be that. I can be the investor and think like an investor. आधा 1000 करोड़ लगाएंगे तो इतना बड़ा बिल्डिंग बन जाएगा. And also I have to think like the smallest minuscule labor. मैं यहाँ पे आ जाऊंगा तो 2 महीने का नहीं, 2 साल का नहीं, 4 साल का मुझे काम मिल जाएगा तो यहाँ पे झोपड़पट्टी में रह लूंगा. So I need to think. I need to be like everyone. So if I'm not doing that, if I'm not putting myself into the shoes of them, then these concerns happen. So maintenance always becomes the biggest problem. And the second one is, what happens to this building after 5 years? Nobody cares for it. Everybody, or many of us, I shouldn't say everybody, many of us were now in a race to make a trendy building. Whether this is a trendy building or a timeless building, even irrespective of that, how is this to be maintained? How is this to be looked at after 5 years? Does this remain this? So in a mall in Hubballi is in North Karnataka. There, this was this mall, on a very prominent place of the city. This is finished in 2012, and I was asked to now refurbish the whole mall. It's a wonderful experience. Understanding the chiller plant to understanding how the access control works and how the money is getting collected and where are these pitfalls or where the pilferage is happening. So those things become prime, and this is what I have learned. Maintenance is always overlooked, and it has to be maintenance. I can't say there's nothing called as maintenance free. There's nothing called as maintenance free, and it cannot be less maintenance. It has to be aptly maintainable. If there is an unit given at 30 feet height, they need to give a maintenance access even if it is only 2 times for a year, or it should be thought of. We generally miss the train there. Yeah.
Now tell us, how can MSMEs, balance design optimization with cost efficiency without compromising on the quality or safety or long-term performance?
The cost cutting or fixed budget completion, they comes in two classifications, two types, two parts to it. One is to build with cheap material and make it less expensive. Another is to consume less and make it cost effective. What I am going to make am I wanting to make it economical or cheap? So I can use 10 rupaye ka material or 100 rupaye ka material, depends upon the finishing type or the workability type. So if I have to use the best wires for making the industrial lines here, I need to see that how I can optimize the consumption rather than looking at directly the cost cutting. Cost cutting comes from consumption. I need to use the right material and with the right consumption quantity. I can compromise on aesthetics. See, today I have only exposed brick masonry like we do in Chandigarh, Delhi and all. We are all of they probably plaster sometimes. Many times they don't plaster, but they use the right wires. I need to use the right wiring, right plumbing system and everything. So I cannot be compromising on the quality. I can cut the cost or regulate cost by consumption. These are the two ways. Yeah.
Understood. So now, what role do you think standardization plays in reducing design errors and improving the project consistency over time?
See, this standardization is a double-edged sword, not even a knife. It's a big one. While standardization will get you efficient buildings, factory finish, kind and get assembled here. So everything is standard. So I do 100 houses in 1 year, and I go on repeating, mushrooming these things all over. Fine. My efficiency, my team knows what to happen. It's like manufacturing a car. I make 2 lakh units of Tata Safari today. This year I sold so much. Standard product. People have to buy. Right? I make Tata truck 1513, 1516 chassis, whatever kind. And people build on body. So semi-customization. While this other side is that, standardization will kill creativity. You cannot create beyond certain limit. Only after this much you can do. Only the decoration part is what is left for the creative people. While it is very good, you finish everything there and get it here. Efficiencies are there. Costs are not overrun. Your timelines are fixed. But then you will get that same thing. Somehow, as Indians, we live in this unity in diversity. Even the truck that I buy or build after getting the chassis, the way that I make it is very different, and I decorate it later. The way the truck is made, high cabin, low cabin, big storage space, long, flat. From there to how I decorate the cabin inside, be it a small truck. So from there, we Indians like personalization. So while we are very attached to making everything ours, personalized. So for us, everything, every building can't be same, because each user of the building is not same. So that's why each building has to be unique. Each building has to be exclusive. There can be some amount of standardization, but this standardization shouldn't kill creativity. So my take on standardization is that, you have to focus on making, certain standards also in standardization. So beyond this, if I don't let my client to nail on the wall and put a calendar or a photo frame, he will not think it is his. For an industry, I cannot standardize. Each industry doesn't work. If it is, say, a car manufacturing unit in Bengaluru, in Mysuru, or in Jamshedpur, their assembly line is same. There I can standardize. But then the moment land profile changes, the standardization goes to different ways. Many commercial showrooms per se, for example, a jewelry brand, very well-known jewelry brand, they do the same type of outlook everywhere. What is happening to our character? See, in those days, if you see one jewelry showroom in Jaipur, and you go to a jewelry showroom in Delhi and then you come to a jewelry showroom in Mumbai, you used to, realize that yes, you are not in Mumbai, you are not in Delhi. There is certain kind of regional context attached to that. Now we are losing that. You go to any of this very well-known chain jewelry showrooms or car showrooms, they all look the same. So where is the character of regionality? Whether I'm buying Tata car in Bengaluru or in Mysuru, it looks the same. But why should it be? There has to be some kind of standardization because it is the company that I'm buying from. But then there has to be some amount of regional characters, some kind of attachments, because I am from Mysuru, I am from Jaipur, I am from Guwahati, I am buying here, and that has to be attached with the built for also. So standardization should come in the right measures to be accepted correctly. Yeah.
Right. And tell us, how can design reviews improve procurement planning, material utilization and construction productivity?
See, design reviews, they remove uncertainty. So the moment I review certain thing, nobody is in any confusion, any doubts. It's like that story of 9 blind men and the elephant. So each blind man thinks that the structure to be something, the animal to be something. So the moment I sit for review and call red as red and black as black, things are clear. And for everyone at the same time. So design review meetings and construction review meetings are super important. And only after that, the productivity attains the highest efficiency ratio. I'm not saying that it can be 10 on 10. I need to achieve at least 65% or 6.5 to 7.5 on 10 is also a good measure, because we are working with a highly unorganized sector, highly unorganized industry, construction industry. Only after agriculture and industrial production we are there, and we work with lot of people. And sometimes I was also discussing with someone in Hyderabad where they are planning to get robotics into construction. They have already started that. And they are still finding it that robot chalane ke liye bhi we want people, no? So then our bar of the labor's skill has gone up. So everybody has to discuss and everybody has to know everything. It's like, we are running a government and everybody has to pour in their information and raise red flags. And for this, review meetings are very important. Any delay, as an architect, I need to understand that any delay in delivery of a drawing of 1 day from my side will cause probably 10 days delay or stopgap in construction. And that cost the contractor huge, and that is passed on to the investor and then the user. So I cannot afford to make that delay. And this delay happens because of only today when I was supposed to deliver, I realized that, this column was not supposed to be like that. We discussed that has to be changed. Or I get information from the structural engineer that he has not reviewed the column and made the changes that we have discussed already. So these design reviews, consistent reviews become very important. What I have been also doing is that, it's like a team. The team builds a body, There is a skeleton, there is a shell, there are nervous system, there is flesh. So each one has to do everything. The moment the other person is not doing, there has to be a brain which will send the signal, and it will put up information about, yes, we need to review this. And these review meetings has to be like a corporate, they'll do this huddle where we stand up and do it so that we don't consume a lot of time. We are working with newer apps on mobile phone and web-based apps where they raise this red flag, where they give us information. Everybody, for example, scheduling when this drawing has to come, when the drawing has to be delivered, and we need to work backwards from there. So if at all there is a delay, we postpone, we tell the team that this has to be postponed, and that has to be reviewed, and we only spend that kind of focused time, review it and finish it. So as architect, we need to understand that every decision, every discussion that is made in the review meeting is super important, and we need to stick to that topic. Make an agenda, send to everyone, huddle for 10 minutes, even if it is online, finish on the dot, go. So that production is not hampered.
Right. Right. And what lessons do you think can MSMEs learn, from major construction failures where design deficiencies were identified as root causes?
See, one of the biggest lessons that any of these people, the MSMEs especially, has to learn is appoint a consultant. First key, appoint a consultant. Don't think that making an industry or a factory or a large corporate office space is like building a home. It doesn't work like that. There are a lot of complications. There are a lot of answers to be found for questions that are unknown. You as a owner, as an investor of the factory or industry are focused about making that product, getting your delivery. यहाँ पे raw material है, यहाँ पे process हुआ, analyze हुआ, then it is sent out. So from raw material to finished product, that is where your task is, and be focused on that. Give us the time, appoint the right consultant, the correct one, and then with the team, let them do their work. You may fight for their cost, but then once done, appoint them, pay them. How to find the right consultant. It is about, I educate a lot of my clients about this, or to be clients, potential clients, and not to be my clients also. I try to, educate this. How to find out the right, how do I know that you are the right consultant? The approach is the first thing. The approach towards you, the project, that is very and easy, workable around, easy, having the right attitude. Does he have? People jump at making इसने पहले कितने industries किया है? Does that mean that if I have done 1,000 industries earlier and I even being ignorant or rude is fine? Or not done 100, or not done even one, but being very humble is not fine? So it is, see, the benchmark they set for themselves is very important. Is this person wise enough to handle this project? What is my project size and which segment of consultant I am looking at? This is the biggest lesson. This consultant has to work with three very important things. Before jumping out of the project, he has to understand that place, people, and the proposal become very important. What is the place that I'm working at, and what is the kind of people that I'm going to talk. From the consultant side, what kind of people person he is, and what kind of place he has already done, and then what kind of proposal is he going to give us, what are his efficiency quotients. Then look at how the project, what kind of project he has done, referrals and other things, his integrity. It's not a business. It is not this. Appointing a consultant is not a business. How do you choose a doctor? Do you go to a doctor who is very mechanical, done 1,000 things but still not fine? You talk to your 1,000 friends, or at least know about him, make an inquiry, and then okay, this cardiac surgeon is good. Many people have said, then I'll. Do you look at his costs and go? Never do that. But these concerns are not. If these concerns are not addressed in time, the problems blow up. The problems, if the person has the right attitude, if he is not a 10 on 10, very great designer, and if he is an open person who can listen to you, you can get things done. Even, if you go to a large, big person, big corporate architecture design firm, and they are not even bothered to listen to you, your problems, then what's the point? Right? There is a small firm or a mid-sized firm or a large firm with a key person being very humble, very straightforward, and want to finish things with you. And you have an easy, dialogue with him. If you send a message, he replies even after 2 hours. I understand all consultants are occupied. I don't reply immediately. I only spend 20 minutes in the morning, 20 in the evening on looking at my messages and emails and reply them. Because I can't, allow myself. I'm not allowed, to myself to divulge so much. My focus gets hampered. So if he replying, so then apply someone, and to give you the right information, this consultant will guide you to all the right places where you should buy what. If I require gold or not, if I require copper or not, if I require this kind of plumbing fitting or not, if I really require a ETP or a STP, and what is the difference between them, he will give you all the information, and you are paying him for that, and you are asked him for that. So learn these things, understand that the consultant is working for you. Many times what happens, the industrials kind of start to judge the consultant. How good are you? What are you? It's like, it happened during our pandemic. A security guard who is not even 10th pass looks at the temperature of the surgeon and allows him or not, decides whether he has to be allowed in or not. That's how people want to look at it. But things are changing. A consultant has to be, understood, and he is there to support and help you. Take him with you on your side, rather than working against him. Yeah.
How should organizations manage design revisions and document control to avoid confusion during project execution?
See, there is this something called, as my belief, the design by reason. You design for anything that you do. For example, there is a sequence. If I'm doing a large factory shed with the raw material coming in on this side and food package there, more than me doing anything, there is a reason for it. The way the process happens, and I need to adapt and build a space around it. So there's a design, and there is a reason I need to design beyond it. And putting the activity first, belief number 2, activity first. So manufacturing this product, so there is this iron ore comes in here, and this is where the blast furnace is. The blast furnace is kept there, and the whole industry is built around it. So the activity is first. Then what happens, the chances of the space failing because of design is not very, very minimal. And the third part is a character-based approach in design. What I am doing, where am I doing, for whom am I doing? Should the railway station look like railway station, or should it look like a palace and I put a board that this is railway station? No, when you look at, compare any of these old, I'll take one example, very good example of Malgudi days. We have not missed it. So what I mean by character-based approach in design, see there, you are now playing on parallel any of these daily soaps that we see on the daily soaps, serials. Now they are on two screens, and you have not allowed to hear them out. Both of them are mute. Malgudi Days, one episode is finished. One of the very popular serials, Hindi, is finished. Here in Malgudi Days, you will be able to make out what is the gist of the story and who is the protagonist, who is the anti-protagonist, who is supporting role. Probably you would be able to also tell us the story. Because people are being made up. The makeup is by their character. A rich man looks like rich man, and he also behaves like rich man. Anti-protagonist also does like that. The whole setup is like that. But here, everybody is chikna. Everybody looks smart. Everybody is beautiful. And only their way that they are making things, you don't know what is happening. So this character is very, very important. If I'm doing something in Jaipur, I don't have to really replicate or imitate a palace that is there in Jaipur. If I'm doing in 2028, something in the urban setting of Jaipur, I need to look at what are the values of people are and how I am acting on that. So the moment I get these three things set right, the design concerns are already understood in the conceptual stage. So any of these design revisions will happen directly on the scheme drawings, when still we are talking on the drawing, rather than hurriedly we send it for construction without having, subjecting this क्या बोलते हैं, निचोड़ के यहाँ पे पूरा निकाल देना scheme में. Agar we have not done our homework on the scheme stage, then we'll have all these problems in the construction time. And this is going to cost again the investor or the client money and time. The contractor will stay back and he will kind of ask all this, extension delays, cost overruns. He needs compensation. How do we not do this? What we do to avoid this? Since understand that there is a new reason, and design has to be revised. If I as an architect can work together with the contractor and see if his team can focus somewhere else, take some time out, slow down or stop for the time being, focus elsewhere, and then so that there is a balance, right? And then I quickly come back. It's like, aligning our thoughts again and again. So otherwise, these revisions keep on happening. So the conceptual stage is super important. भले 100 बार भी change हो जाए, paper में change करेंगे. Construction में जाने के बाद, if not for a big reason, the client suddenly has that एक ही blast furnace करना था, now I want 5. If there is land, we want to do it. If not something like this, there is no problem. There should not be any, because these are all time bound. These kind of revisions are going to cost the client money and time both. And I always humbly request them that let us know if there are any future additions that you are looking at. So we'll plan for it. So it becomes my responsibility as a consultant to understand what my clients' business plans are now and in the future. So this is how we avoid design revisions as much as possible. I can't eradicate them completely.
Right. So now, what early warning signs indicate that a project design may create execution, quality, or safety problems later in the construction cycle?
So again, conceptual design. In the conceptual design only, if we are seeing any flaw, there has to be connected then and then. So there are comparison has to happen between change and revision. What is a revision and change? It's like want and a reason. I want this kind of a chocolate, or I want this kind of a car, or I reason out why I want this kind of a car. Makes a lot of difference. See, the clients, the investors have to also understand that they have appointed a consultant to support them and to work with them. And a consultant has to also, operate in such a way that, yes, this is my client, this is my project until it is done. And after I am finished, after the construction is done, he occupies, only then it becomes his building. That kind of a attachment a consultant has to have. No, it is not just working with your brains, it also with your heart, because somebody is investing money and many families are going to make their breadwinning out of this project. So this has to be looked at, why I want this. This is because of. So those kind of questions have to be, answers have to be attended. This will happen, if you have not addressed in the design stage. And there are, the moment there are repeated design revisions, suddenly, somebody comes and says, no, I don't like this stockyard here, please change it there. It doesn't work like that. No, I don't want this column here. Give me a reason. See, boss, this is where I plan that my STP has to be there. And I prefer that, if this raw material yard moves from this side to that side, so that my movement to my office or my in-gate of my staff or my workforce becomes very clear. The time office is there, and I require at least 200 people holding place near the time office. So this kind of reason, then we will give you a solution. Doctor ke paas jana hai na, so you have to tell doctor, I have fever. Why I got the fever is the headache of the doctor to know and solve. I go and say, doctor, I got fever, give me crocin. It doesn't work like that. So early signs indicate that when you already are puzzled with the solution, feel that this is, I know that this is how much, you please give it. So because people understand that I am the industrialist, I know how it works. Yes, boss, we want you to be in the team. I want you because you know better on the working side of the machinery and the process. But I am the person who will support you with making the shell. So work with me. So the moment somebody is not open, there is a red flag. And these are the early signs. If things are not corrected in the conceptual stage, before concept stage, while appointment also, you have these red flags. So we need to be very cautious. I generally do this, understanding what kind of clarity does the investor or the industrialist have, and what kind of clarity he can give me, and how open he is. So, and only then we are wanting to work.
Understood. So now my last question to you for today's session is, if an MSME wanted to immediately, reduce design-related project risks, what are the first practical measures it should implement across its design and execution processes?
So first is look at the feasibility studies and analyze whether I am doing this thing in the right place, with the right timing. Is the timing right, or with the right kind of funding? Feasibility analysis has to happen. Then approach an architect, a visionary person who can align with your vision. You are the key person, right? Then also have a market survey done. Have a market survey, and then think about building. Think about building. I'm saying just think about building, not start about building. Think about building, probable cost, and think about where your funding is. And this funding will give you the information about you have to do everything in one go or part it, or do phase 1 now, phase 2 now, phase 5, and then return to 4 later. So all this kind of information have to come in, and they have to be coming in through a multidisciplinary design reviews. So it is not just of an architect and an investor. It has to be with the consultants team, the investors team, the users team, and also the production, or anyone who is involved at the stakeholding stage. Have the very good management process for construction. Your lines are timelines are very, very clearly defined with the possibility of errors of say 10-15%. So I choose to finish this within 300 days. I'm okay. I have to plan for 315 days. So that kind of timeline also becomes important. And invest more time. The MSMEs has to invest a lot of time in feasibility and planning. So the moment they spend so much of time, they will be able to reduce a lot of time that they are wasting in time and money wasting in otherwise. At the moment, if there is already an MSME who is running and wants to expand, reasoned it out. You would have already reasoned it by virtue or from the perspective of production, from the perspective of construction, from the timelines, from the funding, and then what if an architect or what if a right consultant team is on board, and what if not? Also analyze this and then act. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you so much, sir, for being with us today and for sharing your insights on such an important and critical topic. It means a lot, and I'm sure the MSME community will learn a lot from you. Thank you.
Just one last note. If someone thinks that good design is expensive, try bad design. So if I replace this with design with doctor, if you think a good doctor is expensive, are you open to try with a bad doctor? So that's how the role of consultants is, and I'm very happy to have discussed in such a great length with you, and look forward to MSMEs at least getting some kind of a support and information from this dialogue with you. Thank you, Amrita.
Thank you so much, sir. That was the last piece of information from you, which was actually handy for our MSME community, and they will take a note from that. For our MSME attendees who are online, if you'd like to view the current episode, if you've missed any part of the current episode, please go on YouTube, type JSW One MSME, and you will find all our episodes uploaded there. Thank you once again, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.